Namaskar, respected chairperson, Professor Basha, my co-speakers, esteemed delegates and invitees. It is a great opportunity for me just to share up some of our research work that have been carried out in the East Coast in the long 2 decades. We are Kalinga, the name Kalinga and the state. Actually, we have lacked much of research on that region. Whatever little we have done, or our scholars have done, that is the boundary and the resources, what were there. That you see the map, Ashokan map, the Kalinga region is well defined, and we have 2 Ashokan edicts that speaks about the region. If you come down slowly up to early medieval period, there are so many inscriptions. They say Kalinga, Utkala, Koshala, Kangodo, Swayambara Prasiddha. That is the medieval inscription. In the Jajati too has mentioned that. And in the late 18th century inscription, Kalinga Godanakasa. See how Kalinga is moving from 3rd century BC at least till 18th century. It is there all along. In between Utkala, Odro, Koshala, everything is there. But Kalinga sustains. That also exactly happened in our counter Southeast Asia. The name Kalinga is still visible there in the records as well as in the sites. Now, what the 3 things I have to speak here. One is the Kalinga ports, the 3 ports, major 3 ports, that is Tamlipti, Palur and Kalingapatna. And before that, just I have to mention, Professor Basa has mentioned in his work that there was a interconnection of transportation of semi-precious stones and beads from Sisupalgarh and Jaugarh to Southeast Asia. That is the benchmark, that is the beginning of our trade relation with Southeast Asia. And that is true when you look at the ports of Southeast Asian countries. Some Bondapet he has mentioned, and number of other sites now excavated by transmission, they have also proved that. That is prehistoric stage. And coming to the historic phase, we are coming to, these are the, our precious stones and other archaeological materials available here in East Coast as well as Southeast Asia. And subsequently, the historical records that is reflected in Ashokan Edict, in Kharavala's Hathigama inscription and other things, the richness of Kalinga, how it becomes so. And archaeologically it is proved that we have strong 3 ports, major ports. These are 3 major ports that has given resource to develop 6 cities all along the coastal area. It is a very new news for all of us. The 6 cities sustained from pre-Ashokan period till 4th century BC, till 4th century AD in the first phase. Some continued later on also, and some declined there in 4th century AD. So this is Tamlipti, that is the northernmost part, and these are the materials, boat buildings and other things. Then coming to Palur in Chilka area, number of port sites are available right now. We have excavated, now our excavation is going on at Palur, but before that Professor Basa has excavated Gaurangapatna, Manikapatna, our institute, Maritime Institute has excavated Manikapatna. Besides that, recently Deccan College, they have also excavated another site that is near Kesapur. And we have documented 40 sites in around where archaeological remains are available. That is the greater Palur. The present village named Palur is not exactly the Palur, but it is between Rishikulya river and Chilka, and beyond that also up to Bahuda river. The whole of area having archaeological remains along with urban sites like Somapa, Jaugarh. Jaugarh is 30 kilometers. So imagine, there is a port site and there is a urban site. These clusters repeated all along the east coast, supported by this is Palur. These are the materials. You see the exotic potteries, beads, bangles, and this is the recently we have discovered a stone stupa. That stone stupa means that is a Buddhist site, Buddhist settlement. Buddhist settlements always is a parameter to study the trade routes and urban centers. So that happened in western coast, and now we have documented many Buddhist sites all along from Tamlipti to Amaravati or Guntupalli. or Nagarjunakonda, so to say. These are all crisscross with urban centers, port centers, and pilgrim centers. That is the network we have. This is a Kharosti inscription from Manikpatna, and Indonesian bronze, amphora, Indonesian terracotta. There are the material. This is again Calcutta Patna, Kalinga Patna. It's a port having another stupa, and we have explored the site and documented. So that is the continuation of our trade activities. And these are the urban centers all along the east coast. This is Radhanagar. It is dated to 4th century BC and continued up to 4th century AD, along with Buddhist sites. So this kind of materials, Devaya Nagara and exotic Buddha images and inscriptions, all there. Then comes to Shishupalgarh and Talpada. You just see the chronology and coming down from north to south, how this is the cities, and this is Jaugoda and Lathi, this is near Palur, and this is Dantapura, the earliest capital of Kalinga, and it is near the Kalinga Patna port. All the capitals are near the port. How in 2500 back they conceived the idea. Cities, ports, and pilgrim centers. That mechanism is repeated again and again, early medieval period, and modern period too. So this is the mechanism what Kalinga has taught us. The essence of Kalinga, the Asmita of Kalinga is there. You have to study and popularize whole of the world, this thing. Now Southeast Asian scholars, they are coming to us to study this mechanism. Even Basasari is there, professor from some other professors are also coming to us to study this mechanism, how it happened. And these are the Buddhist sites, major Buddhist sites. This is the Langudi, where the Buddha image is akin to the earliest image of India, like Gandhara and Mathura. Here also the same period. And these are the relic caskets of early period. This is Udayagiri, Ratnagiri, and all that. Aragarh, Dhauli. These are all related to the urban centers. And this is again Saliyondam, near Kalingapatna and Dantapura. And again beyond, going down, you will find these are the Thatlakonda and Bhabikonda near Vishakhapatna. And these are Bijnikonda, little away. And these are the Guntupalli and other Guntupalli. So where we are getting Chedi inscriptions and all that here in Guntupalli. So all these are region of Kalinga. And these are the how distribution of Buddhist sites all along the coast sea. Just like a stopover, everywhere you get the mathas. These are the mathas. People used to stay, traders used to stay. The thing is that we are not getting much inscription. That is our lacking. We have not studied seriously. Not much of scholar is working on that. If you study, you will get the inscription. Recently, we got an inscription from Palur, that is Gom Garudaya Matha, that is 1st century BC. So, inscriptions are there. Like what Suchandra madam said, we are not getting Nabika and Mahanabika, all that. That is true. But we have not yet taken seriously the study of epigraphy, the study of archaeological materials. That is lacking. See the distribution of clusters, cultural complexes I have given the name, how culture complex repeated in certain intervals. And these are the foreign materials we have, potteries, porcelains, Roman terracotta bulle, and many archaeological materials. And this is how Roman trade was carried out, and it was connected to East Coast also. And this is how the influence of East Coast to the Southeast Asian countries. And this is the trade network of East Coast, Ptolemy's visit. And this is the trading areas of East Coast as well as Southeast Asian countries. There is also some mechanism in Southeast Asian ports in Thailand and Vietnam. OKEO is the port site. That gives us some insight. And Kham Kao, there is another port site. And there are so many cluster ports, and Dujong Valley, Kheda. There is a cluster of port sites. We have to study these port site materials and our port site material. Then we will get the hard and material evidences. And again, foreign materials, seen outwear, related, these are all movement, trade materials. We got from East Coast only. These are the depiction of in the medieval temples, boat motifs and all that. Ashtama, Bhaya, Tara. Again, I have to speak little bit about this. This is a kingdom called Sailodhava. They were existed in modern area of Banpur. The capital was Kangodo. They first, after Kalinga, this is the first region they have carved out known as Kangodo. They were known as Sailodhavas. Sailodhavas They exist from 550 to around 735 AD. After that, there is no trace of that, no trace of the dynasty. It is said, many scholars they have said they are the Salendras of Indonesia and all that. But it needs much study. Study has not yet taken up, but archaeological materials are just scattered around. There are 92, around 90 bronzes are there. That we have to take up study in comparison with the Indonesian bronzes. Port sites are there, palace sites are there, cyber sites are there. Many things are there in around Chilka. This is the area that we have to take up our study to understand Kalinga and its maritime trade. And these are the materials. There is a long inscription here. It utilizes the king of Sailadava, and the same kind of inscription available in Indonesia also. Of course, there are Srivijaya empires, there are so many things there, but we have to take up study, serious study on that. And of course, how Buddhism contributed to the maritime trade and port sites, and it gives us a glimpses of a trade route that we have nomenclature it Purbiya Patha, like Dakshina Patha and Uttara Patha, like Purba Sagar and Purbiya Dasa, we have given a nomenclature that is Purbiya Patha. This is a forum that I want to say this thing, how it is linked, because it was linked with Buddhist sites, it linked with urban sites, linked with port sites. What else we need? And this is how it was connected to whole of hinterland of India and the coastal area, from north to south, and how it was binding whole of India. This is the essence of Kalinga. We have to make it more study, we have to focus more study on that. And this is how it was linked with Southeast Asia and as well as Central Asia. This is how it is linked to maritime Silk Route, and these are the modern ports that we have taken study on that, how it is connected to the ports of Southeast Asia. And this is the route, here route, moment trade route, and it is how Buddhism is migrated there, and Loi Korthang and all that. This is a traditional, everything is there and covering. This is the recent shipwreck in Puri beach. This is all today. Thank you very much. Thank you.